also need to watch the NBA on TNT on Tuesday nights because my guy, Adam Lefkoe, is absolutely killing it. He's also got the Lefkoe show on Bleacher Report, which I've been on, by the way, and hopefully we'll be on again soon. I want to get Adam on the Ross Tucker podcast soon to talk a little NBA and talk a little about Eagles. He's an Eagles fan. He's bumming me out with some of his tweets lately. He's bumming me out a little bit. So I'll get to that in a little bit. You got to tune in to Adam on Bleacher Report's BR Gridiron Draft Night, live across the BR app, BR Gridiron Twitter, and YouTube channels starting Thursday, April 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Connor Rogers, Aqib Talib, Reggie Wayne, and Robert Griffin III will also be part of it. Lefkoe, what's up, man?
You know, it's not often I get compared to a van, but when I do, I hope it's from Ross Tucker.
First of all, you hear how awesome his voice is? You hear how smooth it is? It's like a Mercedes-Benz van. I know I've asked this before, Adam. How'd you get your voice like that? It wasn't your voice is not like that when you were 16.
My voice is awful right now because I am fighting something in my sinuses that I don't even know what it is. Last time I came on here, Dan Patrick absolutely sunned me, and he brought out the pipes. I think I've talked about this before. I hated my voice for a long time, Ross. I went to Syracuse, Tarico, Costas. It's like beautiful. And then I come in and people say I sound like a 40-year-old divorcee. And so like, it's like rough. Like I've been like inhaling cigars. And so I used to hate my voice, but to get compliments from you is refreshing.
I think it's glorious. I think it's like a smooth, sultry voice. Although Paulie just said he thinks it sounds like Demi Moore.
Yeah.
Oh,
in a good way.
Have you ever heard that before? There is a little Demi Moore there.
I've never heard that. I'm gonna go and just watch YouTube clips of Demi Moore. Shaq likes my voice too. If you ever check out his Instagram, he thinks I have a really good white guy voice. Like when I really dial up the white guy voice. So if I'm like, well, hello, good to see you. He thinks it's like how all white men should sound.
All right. So here's the question about Shaq. Is he the same guy off the air? Because you and I both know some people, exact same guy on the air and off the air, like me. Some people, very, very different. Which category is Shaq in?
Shaq doesn't have an opportunity to not be Shaq because everywhere he walks in, everyone's like, oh, Shaq. And so what I've learned through Shaq, I'm going to do a little bit of a deep dive. Military background, dad, super disciplinarian, moved all over the country. And he was always, as you can imagine, this enormous kid. And so he just began watching TV and seeing comedy and was like, oh, it's a lot easier to meet people if I'm just hilarious all the time. And so with Shaq, you just don't know what you're going to get, Ross. Like you come off set and he's in the back DJing. And he's just like, and he's like, I know Lefkoe likes this. All white people like this. And like either that or he's doing like food reviews or he's like, throw grapes in my mouth while I'm sleeping. Like it never turns off. It's the biggest kid I've ever met, but it's always, how can my team succeed, man? So he is him all the time, doesn't change.
Everybody I know that knows him loves him and says he's like the legit awesomest guy. Love to hear it. Speaking of Shaq, his former team, Lakers, they got Anthony Davis back last night. That's like the big news in the NBA last night. Do you think with Davis back, when they get LeBron back, you still think they got a pretty good chance to do this again?
You know, Anthony Davis, 2 of 10, 4 points. That's not back for Anthony Davis. But if the Lakers have Anthony Davis and LeBron, and they are healthy, and it is the playoffs, they are the favorite to win the championship because we've seen this story too many times, you know? And also I look around the rest of the league and I'm seeing a lot of issues everywhere else. Philadelphia, I go, okay, Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons in the playoffs, kind of scary. Utah, no one's going to believe it until they see it. Phoenix is a little bit too early in the process. Can DeAndre Ayton really guard Anthony Davis? The Clippers, No one's believing it because they haven't done it in the playoffs. Denver's injured. Brooklyn, they're never playing together. They've been together for 7 games. And Milwaukee, I feel like, is in the same boat as Utah and the Clippers, where we're going, we've seen you lose in the playoffs before. So I think if LeBron and Anthony Davis are healthy, they are the favorites. And the big question is if, because Anthony Davis didn't look that healthy last night.
All right, so what if all of the Nets are healthy? What if they have the big three?
Oh yeah, that's scary. Because
they're not the favorites. If they have Harden, Durant, and Kyrie all healthy, all playing, they're not the favorites?
So the Lakers are the favorites in the West. The Nets would be the favorite in the East. The reason that I give it to the West is I'm not someone that likes to bet against LeBron a lot, especially because they have the experience of getting there. To me, the Nets are, in the NFL playoffs, when all of a sudden they don't call pass interference as much and they let you kind of get a little bit more physical, and Bill Belichick just knows exactly what to do.
Yeah.
In the NBA, it turns into a half-court game, and it's not about Utah's passing and accuracy and all that. It's, can you score by yourself? And Brooklyn's ability to score with Harden, Kyrie, and KD is unmatched. I would still give a slight edge to the Lakers because they have some continuity. But that is the finals that I'm rooting for, because all the storylines, KD undefeated against LeBron. No. 2-1 against LeBron because of the Thunder time. Kyrie taking on LeBron again. If James Harden wins a championship, Ross, like James Harden, I think I may have said this before. If James Harden wins a championship, it's kind of like if Matt Stafford wins a championship with the Rams, where it's like, man, he's like a top 5 passing yards guy. Like all of a sudden, so much is validated. I just love the storylines of that matchup.
All right. So first of all, that is not our preferred matchup. You grew up outside of Philadelphia. We want the Sixers to beat the Nets.
I want the Sixers.
So I got to say, I really dislike the Nets. I don't like any aspect of how they were put together. I don't think any of those guys are likable. I mean, Kyrie, I won't even go there. Durant is not really likable because of what he did going to Golden State and everything. And Harden, how he got out of Houston. I want the Sixers to beat the Nets so bad I can taste it. I would say, other than football, the Sixers beating the Nets this year is maybe one of the most important sports events for me personally in like the last 10 years. Because I'm a Sixers fan. The Sixers drafted Embiid. They drafted Simmons. I've been waiting for this. And I just don't like anything about the Nets. I don't like the super team. I don't like how they brought these guys together. I don't like the players themselves. Is that my Sixers bias, or do you think a lot of people dislike the Nets?
As a former offensive lineman that just waxed poetic about girls softball, you not liking the Nets is the most predictable take I've ever heard. There is a generational divide about the Brooklyn Nets. People over a certain age that love Barry Sanders because he tossed the ball to the ref after a play hate the Brooklyn Nets. People in my generation and a little bit younger get it. And here's the reason why. Imagine you are a 28-year-old that grew up listening to Dan Patrick, listening to SportsCenter, and hearing them go, you know why Michael Jordan's the GOAT? Because he's got 6 rings. You know why he's better than him? Because he has more rings than him. We have baked it into these young guys' brains that the only way they can be treated as champions is if they win on the biggest stage. So for Kevin Durant to go and do what he did, he was just fulfilling the prophecy that people like Dan Patrick were setting for him. I think that I am someone that tries to understand Kyrie. I am not someone that thinks that I think everybody looks at the flat earth comments and they go, how could you listen to anything since then? I think he has a lot of very wise things to say. I think he talked recently about language and the N-word, and I thought it was very enlightening. I think that he has been a leader in terms of the Black Lives Matter movement and a lot of things in the bubble. I think there's a lot of thought in which he does. I think James Harden, the way he exited, is not very well liked by a lot of people. I agree with that. At the same point, I am someone that believes in the player empowerment era. I am also someone that, like, if I was down there in Houston, like I don't besmirch Blake Griffin wanting to leave Detroit because he signed a 5-year deal with the Clippers and then in year 1 got traded to Detroit. Like why would I want him to want to play there? That's crazy. So I look at it as I'm just trying to enjoy the journey of these guys, and they've come together. And one of my favorite experiences was a 72-9 Warriors team. I like to watch things I've never seen before. I do like the Brooklyn Nets and what they're doing right now because I like watching players when they are happy. Watching James Harden when he is happy has been one of my most favorite basketball experiences this season. Leading the NBA in assists, doing everything he needs to do. It's been very enjoyable. So I do counter you, but I would love to see the Sixers beat the Nets. I really would.
Who's the MVP?
Nikola Jokic.
Nikola
Jokic is top 10 in points. He's top 10 in points, in rebounds, in assists. They are 4th in the West. They are 18 games over 500. The Sixers are 19 games over 500. He loses Jamal Murray. They keep it rolling. They've won 4 in a row since Jamal Murray goes out. And Joel Embiid has missed a number of games, and they played pretty well in those games. I would go Jokic 1. I would go Embiid 2. I would go, it would have been Harden for a little bit. I would go Steph Curry 3, just because what we're seeing out of Steph Curry is incredible to be able, I believe he's had 6 games of 10 or more threes this year. And no one that is active right now has had more than 5 in their entire career. So I would put him 3.
Last question. Why are you so down on the Birds, man? Like your tweets are bumming me out. You're so down on Sirianni.
I'm not down on the Birds. Okay.
Why are you so down on him? He's just starting. Give him a chance.
Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. That's how he. Ross, how am I supposed to listen to this man at a press conference who's out there, his first press conference? Because here's my reason, okay? When the Eagles were looking for a head coach, Ross Tucker, there was a lot of guys out there that were super qualified. But here they hire Nick Sirianni. And why did they hire him? Because he wowed them in the interview process. And the only thing that I can see to get the experience of what Jeff Lurie and Howie Roseman saw are the press conferences. And so if he was wowed, and then he gives press conferences in which he says, we do rocks, paper, scissors, or the clip that I posted that went super viral, and I was not expecting that, in which he said that I don't even know. It was rambling into nothing. And I have former Eagles texting me saying that we should be concerned. Ross, I'm asking you, other than blind faith, where are you getting any confidence from Nick Sirianni?
I like the energy and the passion. I like that he's energetic. Here's the thing. Here's what matters, Adam. He's got to be like this with the players. Like, I need to know. I'll be interested. You know, I do their preseason games on TV. I'll be interested to talk with him and see how genuine it is. I think it is. Like, I've seen him on enough things now. I think it is genuine. And as long as you're that guy all the time, I think the players will like it. But you got to be that guy all the time. You got to be authentic.
You know what I wanted? I wanted a coach that's really good at play calling and play development. I want somebody that's so much smarter than everybody else that they can develop. Also, like, this isn't college football. Constant encouragement, super positivity. When you've lost 3 games in a row, you've been in a locker room. Is that message really going to resonate? Guys, we're so close. We're so close. Come on, let's get some competition. They're going to tune him out so fast. Look, I want it to work. I want Jalen Hurts to be great. Shoot, draft Jalen Waddle at 12. Jalen Hurts, Jalen Reagor, Jalen Waddle. Jalen's everywhere. It'll be great. I just think that it sounds like some high school pep talk stuff that I just don't think resonates with grown men, because it's a grown man team. That's an older roster.
Yeah, I guess we're going to find out. Check him out on social at Adam Lefkoe. And again, tune in to
Company
Adam
man.
on the Bleacher Report.
Dan Etch, you hear how he's talking? He's a company man. He's on that Eagles payroll, baby. I love that.
No,
that's a
not.
good dude right there.
No, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I am giving him the benefit of the doubt. I said to you, wait, I want to see what he's like with me one-on-one. You know, when I'm talking with him like that, I want to see how genuine, authentic he is. Adam, always genuine, authentic. BR Gridiron Twitter, YouTube. Just follow him on social. He'll post what he's doing on draft night with Aqib Talib, everybody. Thank you, Adam.
Hey, I'm the Mercedes-Benz vans of humans. Pleasure to be here. Good talking to you, Ross.